Hello Capricorn, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, does not cost anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a timeless reading. This energy was activated the moment you clicked on this video. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Devil card. That is your superpower card. The Devil card is the major arcana energy that rules the sign of Capricorn. This is your superpower card. I think you're somebody right now who is feeling yourself. You're very much in your energy. I think that you are confident. You're pretty kick-ass right now. I feel like you're very creative, you're very confident, I feel like you're motivated, I feel like you've got this perseverance. I feel like you're climbing a mountain, and you're loving every challenging step of it. Yeah. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. All right. This is really, really good energy. We have also a 3 of Swords, okay? A 4 of Swords. We have an Aries energy here with a Knight of Wands, a 6 of Wands, and a Princess of Cups. Very interesting. Very interesting. Over here, we've got a 4 of Wands, an Ace of Swords, 7 of Pentacles, and the Eon, Judgment, Rebirth, Reawakening, the Baptism by Fire. You're about to level up. I better start my timer here. I want to get in trouble for having a reading that is too long today. I try to keep them about 30 to 40 minutes at the most, but sometimes we just get on and on and on. We start talking and we lose track of time, right? Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor, whoa, we got a little extra. This is the factor, infinite and unknown. It's going to go right here with our little sea turtle friend. We're not going to look at that card until the end. This is a 2 of Swords. But actually, you know what? It came out upside down, so why don't we leave it that way? This is an interesting one, especially since we have an Ace of Swords. We got that 2 of Swords. But if you have a prediction for that mystery card, go ahead and put it in the comments down below. Any point during the reading, once it comes to you, put it down there and see. All right, we got to use our intuition. Yeah. Now, looking around the room, we've got some good major arcana. Your superpower card, the Devil card. This is your driving force. You are someone now who is intensely driven, intensely creative. You have a vision of the future, right? And you this horizontal path is it. You have that vision of the future, and it's motivating you. When you could not wait to get started on something, right? And now that you're going up that mountain and you are in the middle of this work, we got to deal with a little 3 of Swords, sure. But you know that you're getting through to the rebirth of this emotional energy. Now, this is the only water energy we have, and to me it feels like it feels like the manifestation of the dream. It feels like you have these hopes and wishes and dreams and aspirations, and this is the feeling when they start to materialize, right? So we're doing all this hard work. We're pushing through our fear and our doubt because we know that the dream will come true. We know that we are manifesting something that feels really, really good. It feels like love. It feels like creativity, feels like satisfaction. Really, really nice. And of course, we're leveling up, okay? And that's kind of like we're going through this process. We're enduring the climb of this mountain, and we're going to go through that doorway where life gets easy. We're going through that doorway into this unlimited and infinite future, away from the struggles, right? This is where life gets really, really easy. And you know that you're headed in that direction. You know that it's going to feel very, very good. You're going after your dreams here. And I love to see that. So the two majors, we have obviously fire, fire, fire. A little bit of water. We've got air, 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 and we had some extra air. Yeah. And then we've got a little bit of the earth energy. So the extra air energy, okay? For one, if you have this Ace of Swords here, why do we need the two? Because the two is saying, look, you are right now, you're so tapped into your intuition that your answers are coming to you in real time, directly from above, directly from your highest, truest self, from the divine realm. The answers are coming to you. You have a direct connection with spirit right now. The thing you don't want to do is bring all that energy, or to, let's say, bring your consciousness back down to just that intellectual realm of this and that. Either or, yes or no, good or bad, positive, negative, black or white. We don't want to bring our conscious energy back down into the realm of duality. Right now, your consciousness has pierced through the atmosphere of thought, and the tip of the sword is in outer space, receiving that starlight directly. Stay here. Don't fall back down into this intellectual reasoning kind of thing, and where we start kind of like, we start questioning the answers that we're getting. You know, with the Two of Swords, thought begets thought. The more we think, the more times we ask the question expecting a different answer, the more confused we get. The 2 becomes the 4, becomes the 8, becomes the 16, the 32, the 64. It just keeps doubling, right? Thoughts do nothing but create more thoughts. This is not so much the absence of thought, but the clarity of thought. So it really is a kind of high-level warning here that says stay in this outer space connection with your star, with the limitless light of spirit. Don't fall back into questioning everything and doubting things and kind of being indecisive. And no, stay true to your inner truth and to that starlight, right? You've got a direct connection to spirit right now. But what is this 3 of Swords? Well, now we kind of see we're going Ace, 2, and 3. We're realizing that our the despair, the fear that we have is exacerbated by overthinking. So what we need is to reduce these thoughts down to, from the 3 to the 2, it's either I do it or I don't, down to this Ace, down to the unity, to the clarity that just says I'm doing it, I'm trusting in spirit, I'm getting all the information that I need, I'm receiving the downloads in real time, you know, as I go forward. The 3 of Swords is fear, really. It's a function of memory. I think we sort of have too many options. We have too many thoughts. We start doing the what if game. What if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? What if I don't make it? What if I fail? With so many possibilities, we start kind of imagining things that haven't happened yet. We imagine the worst case scenario. We imagine all the ways that this could go horribly wrong, right? And I think we get stuck in this, and what we start doing is manifesting some of this. What you think about, what you hold in your head long enough, eventually you will hold it in your hand. Okay? So we have to be very aware of our thinking apparatus. Now the 3 is about the understanding. You understand the process of creation on the mental plane. What you think about is what you create. The thoughts that are in your head is going to be the reality that you have around you. And so I think that we're really trying to deal with it. We're trying to simplify our thinking and reduce it down from a 3 to a 2 to an Ace. And the Ace is clarity and certainty. We get the answer. We don't want to question the answer, because then we're going to start questioning everything, and we're going to end up stopped in our tracks, right? And actually, now we got the 4 too, right? Ace, 2, 3, and 4. And 4 is kind of like that. To me, the 4, it could indicate, as we're kind of talking about the 1, 2, 3, and then 4, the 4 is going to be kind of, we're stuck in place, we're stopped, right? It's a 4. It's not, there's no motion here. It's a fixed state of things. And so in that sense, we want to keep moving, and we want to reduce everything down to this absolute certainty and to this clarity of mind, reduce everything to a unity, right? That every step we take is a step that is purposeful and intentional and driven. The 4, to me, as its nature of, the key word is truce, right? So we're sort of, kind of have a handshake agreement with our own mind. And it's basically saying, I don't have to understand everything. I don't have to know what's going on. I don't have to believe in this path. I don't have to know what's going to happen. I don't have to have the answers. But I have to keep going. So it's kind of like the mind is saying, okay, we're going to agree to disagree, but we're just going to go and find out what's up, right? So by taking a step forward into our fear, into the unknown, right? We're going to learn. And every step of the way, we're learning something new, and we're going to take that learning back into our action, and we're going to sort of repeat the process. We don't have to see the entire plan beforehand. We don't have to see every step of the way. You don't have to see what every challenge is on your path. You don't have to have a plan. You don't have to know every single move that you have to make from here to the summit of the mountain. No, because every step is going to confront us with a new challenge. We're going to face it. We're going to deal with it. We're going to learn something. If we have to repeat that challenge a couple of times, that's okay, but we're learning and we're growing, and we're going to get past it and on to the next one. So by not needing all the answers, we're able to confront our fear and have this victory. And this is a victory really of overcoming a challenge. It's the 6 of Wands. It's victory after strife. Okay? And if we don't confront the strife first, if we don't struggle with something or wrestle with something, if we don't confront the fear, then we're never going to have that victory. We're never going to learn what we need to learn and take that next step up the hill. We're not going to climb a mountain if we are waiting to get the full GPS, sort of navigation coordinates of how to get up the mountain. There's always going to be things that are unknown to you, right? And so I think the big message here is that you don't need to know every step of the path. What matters is that you had this rush of energy. This is a cardinal fire energy. You started this thing with gusto. You started it with motivation, enthusiasm, a lot of zeal, right? I think that you said, heck yes, I'm doing this. We started running up the mountain, okay? And now as we continue to run up the mountain, we're finding there are challenges. There are things we don't know, things we have never learned, challenges we've never seen before, problems we've never had to solve. And instead of turning away and going home, we're figuring it out. We're learning step by step. We're learning through doing. It's kind of an on-the-job training here. And what we don't want is for this rush of energy to diminish, right? But we have to realize that maybe the progress that we made at the beginning was very, very easy. Maybe the progress was swift. Maybe the first few days or first few weeks or the first few levels were very easy. It's kind of like you're playing a video game, and it's like, well, you get the video game, you pop it in your Nintendo, I don't know, Super NES, and I'm old school. And you pop it in, and the first few levels are just nothing. It's like, this is a piece of cake. But then it starts getting harder because you've finally reached your level of skill. That's like that's where your skill level is. It's like you're taking a placement test in math or something. It's like everything's easy until it's not. But that's right where you need to be, where it's not easy. It forces you to learn and grow and adapt. Yeah, and you've got to have the endurance to push through that discomfort of not knowing what to do exactly, but having the confidence of this Jupiter and Leo energy up here, having the confidence in yourself that you will learn, that Spirit will provide you with the right insights at the time, that you're capable of receiving the knowledge. This card is not about these light rays emanating from the tip of the sword. It's about the knowledge coming in. You have to believe that you are capable of receiving knowledge. You have to stay open and receptive to the wisdom. Okay? However it's arriving through your relationships with the environment. My iPhone agrees with me. Always a good sign when Siri gets into the mix, right? It's us realizing that the knowledge that we seek can come through many different avenues. We have to be open to learning from our experience. We're confronted now with that uncomfortable place of realizing the limit to our current skill level, which is here with that Three of Swords. This is our current skill level, and this is the discomfort we feel, when we realize that this is the limit to what I'm capable of doing right now. The Ace of Swords in the environment and in terms of your relationships is saying that you're going to learn from this situation, that you're not going to turn back, you're not going to stay stuck in this fear, you're not going to call it quits and throw in the towel, right? That you're going to keep an open and clear mind so that you can receive the knowledge necessary through whatever means, right? It's kind of like you realize that you're only this good at math. Well, you got a professor or a teacher that can teach you, that can show you how to do these things. We got to be open to learning that, not resistant to the learning process, right? This is sometimes a resistance. Sometimes this is literally like we put ourselves into a box that's saying, I'm not open at all. This is a closed container. Okay? We want to be the opposite of that. We want to be open. It's kind of like, yes, please teach me what I need to know. I feel blessed and grateful that I have discovered where my current limitations are so that I can break past those and I can learn. And we can keep going here. Okay? But we have to have the confidence that we're capable of that we're capable of overcoming the challenges. And to do that, we have to be open and receptive to the wisdom and the knowledge that's coming in through the experience, through whatever it is about this experience that is teaching us. And we don't always like the teacher, right? The teacher is sometimes looked at as the enemy. The challenge itself, the difficulty itself, that darn math problem, that's the teacher, right? The challenge, the opponent, the obstacle itself is the teacher, and we have a resistance to that naturally. We've got to believe that we're capable, and we have to be open to receiving the wisdom, receiving the teaching. Sometimes we got to get schooled. It happens to all of us. But the satisfaction of triumphing over the obstacle and moving past our fear is intensely satisfying. Not only in the moment as it's like immediately gratifying, when you realize that you ever see a kid learn something? Like I have a 4-year-old daughter, my wife and I. She does tea leaf readings over at Ula Tea Leaf Readings. Go sub her channel. Tell her I sent you. We have a 4-year-old daughter, and it's such a miracle to see. I mean, it's a sight to behold. When you see a kid learn something, and the way their eyes kind of light up, it's like, oh, I got it. Like when she's trying to do something, or she's trying to tie knots, she's trying to learn math, and she's trying to read and stuff, she's trying to do all sorts of things now. But when something clicks, when she's coming up with a problem, and then she finally gets it, that is so beautiful to see. And I imagine it feels good for me just to be witnessing that, but for her it must feel just absolutely amazing when you finally get something. You've been struggling with it, but you've been just keeping at it. You don't quit. Sometimes you quit, you go home for a day, you come back to it and try again, right? But that's just it. It doesn't matter how many times you fail. It doesn't matter how many times you go home. What matters is that you keep coming back. Because eventually you will get it, and that feeling is immediately gratifying, makes up for all the failures from the past, but it also is satisfying in the sense that I know that I'm manifesting this dream of mine. I know that this is one little win in a series of big wins, right, that are going to just manifest this dream and create this ultimate happiness. Yeah. And I think you really believe in what you're doing. I think you were chosen for this. Whatever this mountain is that you're climbing, you were chosen for it. Yeah. Now, let's talk about the path of the serpent. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It is free. The Four of Wands, for one thing, is the incorporation of this knowledge into our skill set. Okay, so we come up with a certain type of math problem that, never seen that before, right? It's like a foreign language. And it is a foreign language. Once you get it and it starts clicking and you start, sort of practicing it and getting good at it, and you get that feeling of, oh, wow, I'm getting it. This feels good. It's motivating for me. I'm starting to build up momentum, building up steam here. That new type of math problem now becomes part of your skill set. So anytime you see that anywhere else in the world, you're going to know how to do them now. I mean, it's pretty simple stuff, right? We're not telling you anything new here. But this is your ability to incorporate this knowledge into your current system, into your skill set. It's part of who you are. Of course, we got to practice it every once in a while. Maybe this is like a martial art or something, right? Like you learn it and it feels good to get it. But now we sort of integrate it into our lives. It becomes part of who we are, and it becomes yet another tool we have in our toolbox. Okay. This is also the card that's telling me whatever this current fear or whatever this current obstacle is for you, it's about to wrap up really soon. This is a card of completion. It's a card of the ending of a cycle. Okay, this is the card of a little win. A big win. It's one thing checked off the list. Okay? So you're about to complete this project, or this problem is about to be solved, and you're going to get that check mark. Okay? And it's on to the next one, which that's very, very reassuring. Okay? The next card, of course, is the Ace of Swords in the environment. Okay? And this is a clarity. This is not letting our personal biases interfere with the learning process. This is not letting our emotions interfere with the process. This is not letting our kind of questioning of the answer sort of get in the way of our learning progress. It's kind of our ability to be receptive. This is like the antenna. And the best kind of student is the one that will really be able to connect with the teacher. It's like teachers can teach all day. You can have the best teacher in the world. I don't know who's a good teacher these days. I don't know. The best teachers in the world, right? They're going to be totally ineffective if the student isn't receptive, if the mind isn't open, if there's too much noise going on, too much static, too much interference. This signal's not going to get through. And maybe the stronger the signal, the more clear the signal, the better chance it has of being received by the receiver. This is you being a receiver, not a transmitter. Okay, now's the time for you to receive so that you can get through the current obstacles on your path up this mountain, and you're about to level up to the top of this mountain. Your future is really about to change. I don't feel like you have very much further to go. All right, but you are a receiver right now, not a transmitter. Okay. The Seven of Pentacles is the card of failure. Our biggest fear is failure. Our biggest fear is to set out on a path and not get to not do well at it, right? The biggest fear is to do these math problems and just get an F on the paper. Okay? And you might get some answers wrong, but you're going to pass the test. You know what? You ever take any of those quizzes where, I had to do this for EMT. I was a nationally registered emergency medical technician for a brief period of time. But I remember taking the big state exam or whatever it was, or the national exam, I guess. And, you're at this computer, you're answering these questions. It doesn't tell you which answers you got right or wrong. It doesn't tell you whether you got 5 out of 10 right or, 50 out of 100 wrong. It doesn't tell you your score. You just keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going until the test stops and says, "Thank you for taking the test. We'll see you later." It's like, ah. And then you got to wait, and then they tell you, "Okay, you passed." Did I pass well? Did I pass not so well? Or what was my score? They won't tell you. I wonder why that is. But just to toot my own horn a little bit, when I took the registry exam, when I finished, they said, "Wow, that was the fastest we've ever seen anybody go in and out of there." I'm like, oh shit, that's got to be bad, right? Then it turns out I passed, so I was okay. It was a relief. But that's kind of what this card is about. It's saying that, look, there will be failures and successes. There will be 6s and there will be 7s. If our fear of failure is going to prevent us from climbing up the mountain, we're never going to get to the end of the test, and we're never going to get through this doorway into that future. Okay? It doesn't matter how many times you got it wrong. It doesn't matter how many wrong answers you gave. What matters is that we pass the test. What matters is that we get through to the other side of that. And there, I think I got lucky. I think it was hard work, and I think I have a kind of a natural interest in that sort of subject, so it made it sort of a little bit easier. But we could take the test 100 times. We could take it I don't know what it was, you could take it every 2 weeks or every month or something. But we could keep going back and keep trying again and keep doing the work and keep learning and keep going at it. It doesn't matter how many times it takes you. When at the end of the day, everybody that is on the ambulance, they've all passed the test. Nobody knows how well they did. Nobody knows how poorly they did, right? So it's just like we're all kind of equal at the end of the day. What matters is that we're not giving up and we're pushing through until we get through that fiery doorway and level up and get to the end and graduate, or just whatever the top of this thing is for you. Once you get through this fiery doorway, everybody is the same. Okay, so we may be going up against a lot of obstacles and feeling like we're failing at them, feeling like we're getting a lot of questions wrong, and maybe we are, sure, probably. But once we get done with this and we get to the other side, none of that matters. In fact, you probably have more respect for the person that failed 100 times and got to it than for somebody who just aced it the first time, took 20 minutes, and that was it. Okay? Because the person that fails a lot, you know that they've got something in them that will not quit, will not give up. If someone does it, it's too easy, they're not going to be there when it's really tough. They're not going to be there when it's hard. They're not going to be there when it feels like failure. They're not really the one you want on your team. You want the person that's failed a lot. One, because they probably know more, because they've had to learn more. They've had to overcome more challenges to get through this doorway. So it probably means a lot more to them. And they're probably someone who's a lot more reliable than somebody who had it too easy. So anyway, my point is that the 7 of Pentacles cannot deter us from trying it. It has to be a motivating factor. We have to realize, we have to accept that fear and the failure are necessary parts of this path, are in fact essential to you getting through this doorway and leveling up and becoming a professional, taking this to the next level, this breakthrough, whatever is going on with you. Failure is the only way to success. And we can use the analogy of going to the gym. You're not going to get stronger if you just go to the gym and it's just easy. Oh, easy day at the gym today. What? If anybody says that to you, you'd have to look at them funny, right? Oh, it was an easy day at the gym today. It's like, did you even go to the gym? Because in exercise, it is all about the stress. It is all about the failures. I lifted weights until I couldn't lift it anymore. Well, that's good, because now I know where my limit is and I know what to work on. I know how to gauge my progress, right? So anyway, mystery card. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. I want the success here. I want the Empress, Wheel of Fortune. I want the Universe card, or a 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. I'll take the 9s. 9s will be okay too. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. Let's see. It's a King of Swords. Interesting. The King of Swords is a fixed air energy. It's a fixed, it's basically saying, stay in this clarity. Don't start doubting yourself. This is a card, you look at that face, they kind of look a little bit nervous, right? They don't look super, super confident. They don't look like they're having an easy time of it. They're not smiling, laughing. They're not looking at something else over here. They're very serious. And they almost look like they're trembling a little bit, right? With their sword in their hand. And that's, I think, the way it should be. We should be scared. We should be challenged. We should feel like this is the fight of our lives, right? Because that's going to be, that's going to be something meaningful. That's going to be something that is significant in our lives. But this is a card, it's a fixed air energy. Again, it's not giving up. It's a reference to the Aquarius card, right? The Aquarius energy, the star card, it's a fixed air energy. This is saying that you believe in, and I think this is why we've been chosen for this. I didn't choose this, I was chosen for it. And that means that, I don't always feel so confident, I don't always feel so ready, but I am here because this is what I'm meant to do. If we chose it, then it would seem, well, it's easier. It would seem that it's less important, less serious, right? But this chose us whether we were ready for it or not. Okay? And that's why doing this work for me, I feel like I was chosen to do this. Tarot on YouTube here. I was chosen for this. I chose the EMT stuff, and it was easy for me, and it didn't last. I didn't connect with it. It wasn't it for me. It was a short stint for me. This is something that chose me. So it keeps me learning. It keeps me having to pay attention and make progress. It challenges me every day. Okay? So I think this is very important that we realize that we were chosen for this, whether we were ready or not. And now this is what we've got to do to succeed and to make progress and to get to the goal here. Okay? And again, I do think at the beginning it was very exciting, and maybe it felt easy at the very beginning, but now the challenge of it's really setting in, or the responsibility, is really setting in. I think the King of Swords is a very good card here to remind us that this is your destiny, that you were chosen for this, and if you stick with it, you stay focused, you're going to be very, very happy. Yeah. Now we're going to do an extended reading. We'll do some oracle cards. We'll do an I Ching reading. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Capricorn, usually on Thursday and Sunday. This is a special update for you. Okay. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.